This colossal blast created everything, all the matter we see in the universe today.
First off, nothing can travel faster than the speed of light.
Oh, god damn it, it's Prattmouth. I mean, Fat Bowels. I mean, Matt Powell. Oh, my words are slippery today, but what do you expect when I am faced with the world's brainiest creaty boy? You know, a moron. All I can do is hope to words, mostly properly, when the sheer weaponized stupid comes out of his idiot hole, I mean mouth. Anyway, yeah, things can travel faster than light, like how idiotic creationist ideas spread in your communities faster than anyone could possibly imagine, and you have it up on your YouTube before anyone can stop you making yourself look like an idiot. Shit's actually impressive.
But we're supposed to believe that in a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second, the universe went from smaller than a period on a page to something billions of miles across?
Right, so the idea that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light is, well, it's almost right, but it's also slightly wrong. Nothing within the universe can travel faster than the speed of light, but the universe itself can expand faster than the speed of light. But that's not the same thing, and it's something that requires one to, I don't know, actually know something about science. It does make me wonder why you insist on talking about it when you know so little, but perhaps I just answered my own question.
That is trillions of times faster than the speed of light. And so nothing can travel faster than the speed of light.
Again, Matt, yes and no. Within the universe, nothing travels through space-time faster than light. But the universe itself does not reside in the universe. Also, apparently some galaxies are moving away from us faster than the speed of light, except they're not actually moving through space-time faster than light, because they can't. But what they can do is be sort of pulled along by the universe expanding, as I understand it anyway. You can think of it this way. If you had a car that had a maximum speed of 200 miles per hour, no matter how fast you drive that car, on a surface it will never be propelling itself faster than 200 miles per hour. But if it were on a, say, super long boat that was travelling at 30 knots or just over 34 miles an hour, the car could technically be moving over 200 miles an hour. It's not a perfect analogy, I know, but I think you can see how one thing is not the same thing as the other.
And it is from this explosion, this bang, that all matter, energy, space, and time were created.
326 million trillion gallons of water exist on Earth alone.
And not nearly enough of it is precious, life-sustaining whiskey. He's right. This is a massive problem for science and atheists alike. Oh, and yeah, this video is called Christianity Defeats Atheism, when all he's talked about is his personal incredulity about scientific understanding and discoveries. I wouldn't mind, but atheism is not a synonym for science or even scientific literacy. And the fact that you don't understand that proves that you probably should stop talking about either until you do.
And so to say that all of those gallons of water were compressed down to an infinitesimal amount of space, smaller than a single proton?
Look, the size of the universe before the Big Bang is something that we may never know precisely, but we do know that it was very small, much smaller than today, and the fact that you don't like it or understand it does not change that fact. Also, do bear in mind that we can absolutely squeeze things from one much larger state into something more dense, and even though under normal circumstances water doesn't compress much, with extraordinary amounts of pressure, it can be. So the fact that you think ocean's big and will never be small is obviously you showing your ignorance. Not that he needed to, but he does it anyway because he's just so generous. Because he wants everyone to feel less dumb by comparison. He's a hero, really.
Anybody who believes that, it just goes to show they don't even understand what basic scientific law even is.
I would call the irony police, but they haven't arrested him so far, so I seriously doubt they will now, considering the sheer crimes against reality Matt Powell has already committed. But no, Matt, just because you think that your sub-junior school understanding of scientific laws, that is missing huge chunks to boot, doesn't mean that the literal scientists who study this shit are wrong and your incredibly dumb ass is right. Do you even listen to yourself? You are just sat here seemingly genuinely believing that you are smarter and more knowledgeable on topics than people who spend their lives researching them because you think a fairy tale is true. The arrogance of the terminally stupid is one of those things that we need to figure out how to turn into a fuel source, because that shit will get us to the center of the universe in about 5 minutes flat. Its physics-bending nature is just that fucking powerful.
because it doesn't take a genius to figure out that water can only be compressed past a certain point. In fact, it can hardly be compressed at all.
We aren't talking about a normal stick it in a cup and smash your fist into it shit here. Also, we aren't really talking about water either. It'd be fundamental particles. But even if we are talking about oceans of H2O, what do you think happens to water if you chuck it into a black hole? I tell you what it doesn't do. Sit there pontificating about how it cannot compress because of how special it is. Like everything else, it would be squashed to basically nothing. And the forces at the beginning of the universe are likely far more extraordinarily dense than that. Almost as dense as a creationist even.
And so interestingly enough, NASA has also stated that even though the Big Bang Theory has been widely accepted, it will probably never be proven.
Proven definitively? Probably not. Although again, probably is an important word. But most things in science aren't proven to such a degree anyway. What we have is evidence supporting a conclusion and following that evidence where it leads. And those conclusions can be used to make accurate predictions, which is itself more evidence that the conclusion was likely correct, or at least correct enough to be useful and likely very accurate. Now, tell me again what predictions can be made using creationism, and what evidence points to it as the most likely answer. Wrong answers only, you know, the only kind of answers Matt has.
So even NASA admits that the Big Bang Theory, which they all believe in, will probably never be proven.
Okay, so what? Even if that's accurate, that doesn't suddenly make the utter horseshit you believe more accurate. It's not a zero-sum game, at least not in that way. There are things that are more likely, and then there's a bunch of shit that is completely ridiculous. Guess which category yours falls into?
Do you know why? Because it's not provable, because it's not science, because it's not true.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the Big Bang Theory, or are we talking about creationism? Because, well, yeah, that's definitely a statement that I would make about Creaty Boys. But Big Bang, well, that's for some reason got pesky evidence backing it up, while you and yours has none. And there's a reason for that. And you sitting there saying it am not science is literally all you can do, because you have nothing. If you had something, you would show it. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, don't worry, Matty boo-boo, I didn't forget. I wouldn't subscribe to you if someone put a banana up to my head and threatened to give me an atheist nightmare. So it's all good, thanks a lot. But you lot, you should probably subscribe to me if you haven't, because if you don't, what will your parents, spouse, pets, or cactus think? That you're some kind of not subscribing lunatic? Non-existo forbid. Better get on that, and the bell, and the rest.
It's indefensible on every level.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that he's not talking about creationism, because literally everything that he says about, real science is categorically true about the things he thinks are true, and is almost certainly all things that he has said to him, and thinks that if he just Uno reverses use it back at us, then that somehow makes him right. But it doesn't, because he's wrong. So wrong that I'm not even sure how he dresses himself without getting his shoes on his hands and his pants on his head. Kinda wrong.
And that's exactly why they said that it will probably never be proven.
No. F you, Matthew, you disingenuous piece of shit. That's not why they say that. That's not why they say things like that at all. It's actually because of this concept that you and your ilk are so staggeringly unfamiliar with. It's called honesty. It's called saying things that are true, even if dickbags like you will try and spin it into something that it isn't. In science, there's no such thing as absolute certainty. But that doesn't mean we can't be sure enough in something that it may as well be absolutely true. At least for now, until we come up with an even better answer. That's why you say yours will definitely be 100% and you are extra smart because you are full of shit. So much so that you think that there will never be a better way to answer the question than the one you have already been given by morons from forever ago, even though it's constantly proven false over and over again by the very science you claim is either a lie or completely supports me, guys.
And they even went on to say that consequentially, this leaves people with a number of tough and unanswered questions.
But don't worry, Matt Powell has answers. What do you mean that they are all wrong and a bunch of fanciful bullshit that leads people to holding up opinions about groups of people based on characteristics they didn't choose, or to give money to organisations that use it to make the world a more stupid and worse place. But he will give you some kind of answer, so what would you prefer? To not know and be honest about not knowing? Or would you prefer to pretend to know and you get to be a piece of shit too?
So people will continuously come to me on the internet and,
Look, okay, you got me, but it's only 'cause you're a massive clown, and I just can't look away as you say some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard, whilst confidently proclaiming how smart you are and what sillies all the athi-blabs and science grills are because of your big, smart, not lying brain. And it's just so car crash fascinating.
beg me for answers about the Bible and beg me for answers about why Christianity is true.
And your answer is, well, science doesn't know everything. Jesus Christ, dude. Again, just because you think something else is wrong doesn't automatically make you right by default. And the thing is, you aren't. You are demonstrably wrong, based on your own book and the fact that it is so obviously contradictory. Something it shouldn't even be if written by a perfect God or even inspired by one. Not to mention, there's a zillion other beliefs that are just as right as yours by your dumbass standards. Also, people come and beg you to shut the f*** up and stop embarrassing them maybe, because they're either a fellow Christian or, well, anyone really, because you're that much of an embarrassment to humanity. And they're the worst. Come on.
But the real unanswered questions, the unanswerable questions, are within the Big Bang cosmological model itself.
Wow, that was incredibly poorly worded. You make it sound like, yes, the Big Bang will answer all these questions, TM, when you mean, or at least I think you mean, that the Big Bang has no answers. So it's always the same with you, isn't it? You can't even say words that support the thing that you wanted to say. It's almost like you're really bad at this.
It has failed at the scientific method. It is non-repeatable.
The Big Bang Theory isn't a f***ing experiment, you massive dipshit. Experiments have to be repeatable with repeatable results. That's like saying gravity isn't repeatable. You repeat the tests you do on something like that to show that it's there. The tests that show evidence for the Big Bang Theory are absolutely repeatable. Things that detect, like cosmic background radiation and blue/red shift, are things that you can go and check for yourself to show that evidence. See, I told you Matt has literally no idea what the words he says in regards to science even mean. He just thinks he knows what they mean without doing any of that pesky learning shit that is such a hassle, when he can just make up whatever he wants, using vaguely the right words, and his dumbass audience will believe him. It's why his job is so f***ing easy, and mine is actually quite hard, because my audience will rip the piss out of me when I say something stupid, and his will tell him what a good job he's doing when he does something demonstrably wrong. No, I'm not bitter, you're bitter, smart-ass bastards. Love you, really.
Remember, in order for something to be science, it has to be demonstrable, testable, and repeatable.
Okay then, creationism. Oh no, it's not any of those things. Damn it, Matt, you were so close and then boom, you proved yourself wrong and dumb. And you probably smell bad. And every other possible negative attribute one could apply to a person based on that one sentence alone. I mean, it's almost impressive just how poorly the things you say reflect on you. Kudos.
There's no way that we could repeat the Big Bang cosmologically. And that means that it is not science.
No, it means it's a conclusion, you f***ing dumbass. Like how you can't repeat a car crash that kills a group of teenage yobbos with that same group of yobbos and kill them again. I should know, I tried, but I'm still working on my resurrection technology. However, I can't seem to get it to work without making it so that people could be revived because they just don't want to be dead and not for my personal gain, so I had to scrap it. But my point is that you can show evidence for that event that killed those people without having to kill those same people again. Just like there are things that were left behind by the Big Bang that shockingly prove the Big Bang, almost like it's correct.
It is a religion that people believe in, that people put their trust in.
Nope, for so many goddamn reasons. But it's always so funny when religious people who are honest, like Matt, are happy to throw the concept of religion under the bus in order to make a petty and frankly incredibly stupid point. Not realizing if being a religion is so bad, then what do you believe again? Oh right, a religion. But no, Big Bang is just a thing that likely happened. and that's it. There's no tenets, there's no holy book, there's no ceremonies, there's nothing that could even remotely relate it to a religion. You just say it does because you know how much they f***ing suck at explaining things.
See, the Big Bang actually states that out of nothing, everything was produced by nothing.
No, it doesn't, because the Big Bang is an expansion of matter after the beginning of the universe, whatever that may be. It's weird that you don't know that. Or perhaps you do and have been told many times and either refuse to listen and take it in, or are so f***ing stupid that you are literally incapable of replacing the old defunct knowledge in your brain with new correct knowledge. And that would explain the creationism thing, not gonna lie.
Before the Big Bang, there was nothing. Literally nothing.
That's a TV show, Matt. That's pop science. Hell, I am pop science, because I'm just some dumbass trying to figure out this shit basically on my own, and trying my best to be correct. But any honest and smart person should know not to cite me as a source for their scientific information. And if they do, they should slap themselves smart, because it's not like doing it would make them any stupider. Same goes for using some TV show. You should be using actual scientific literature, but you don't for some obvious reason. And that's the difference between you and me, Matt. I know that I'm fallible, and that if someone corrects me to my face with proof, I don't just get to ignore it and keep believing the same thing, and espousing it to my audience forever. I try to be more correct. So, if I am pop science, you're a f***ing moron. So yeah.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was gonna tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the